Good morning. Welcome to United First Parish Church. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey, welcome to our Unitarian Universalist spiritual community. It is good to be together this morning. As we gather, we acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Neponset Band of the Massachusetts tribe, a people who have lived here for generations and who live here to this day. I'm the Reverend Rebecca Froom, lead minister here at UFPC, and my pronouns are she and her. Friends from near and far, folks joining us in person and those joining over Zoom, welcome. And a special welcome to any first or second time visitors we might have with us today. If this is one of your first times worshiping with us and you feel comfortable, I invite you to raise your hand up high, and our ushers have a small token of welcome for you. Keep those hands up, and visitors are welcome to join with members and friends for a social hour following the service. And today is not just a social hour, but our sweets-giving dessert auction. So we'll have a light lunch and then get to bid on various desserts that you can take to Thanksgiving or eat while you're on your way to Thanksgiving, whatever it might be. We gather in the parish hall, which you can reach through these doors on either side of the pulpit. And I'll be standing here on your right and look forward to greeting people after the service. Our worship team this morning includes from our staff, our ministerial intern, Ann Parsley, our acting director of music, Tony Winters, our UFPC Choir, I'm just so excited. Just so excited hearing the choir rehearse and now getting to hear them perform. Our flowers are from our fabulous flower committee, Pat and Claire and Katie and Allegra. And our greeters and ushers include Albert, Bill, and Marilyn. Our live stream team is truly a team this morning. Kendall Dottie, our communications coordinator, is our primary person today, but we had a live stream team training. So there's a whole cluster here of folks who are like, I almost know what I'm doing. And it is so good to have everyone's energy and enthusiasm making worship happen. We strive to be a welcoming community to people of all ages and abilities. So in the back of the sanctuary near our ushers, we have large print hymnals. We have hearing assistance headsets connected to our sound system, which can also be helpful for people sensitive to distracting background noise. There are children's books and busy bags and coloring materials families can bring to their seats. Our bathrooms are located on the lower level, which you can reach through the foyer by stairs or elevator. If you need to use the restroom during the service, please speak with an usher or greeter. And now, as we prepare ourselves for worship, let us take a deep breath together, feeling that spirit of life, that spirit of love that moves within, between, and beyond us all. I invite Ann Parsley to share a reading as we light our chalice, symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith.
I would like to share with you these words by Eric Walker Wickstrom. When we light our chalice, everyone focuses on the flame. Yet it is the paraffin of the candle, the cotton of the wick, the potassium chlorate and sulfur of the match, and the oxygen in the air around us that makes that flame possible. We are not called to be a lone beacon on a hill. Rather, we are meant to work together so that we might, together, shine.
Thank you. Please rise as you are willing and able and join in reading our congregation's words of covenant. The words are found in your order of service, or for folks joining us over Zoom, they are in the chat. As a free fellowship of this historic church, we unite to lift our hearts and open our minds to a larger reality, to accept, support, and encourage one another, to seek the wisdom in all religions, to cherish and sustain the web of life, and to strive for justice, compassion, and peace. Now let us greet one another in that spirit of fellowship and peace. And as we remain standing in body or spirit, we're going to lift our voices in song. We'll be singing Joy in the Morning, which is found as an insert in your order of service. We first sang this hymn a couple weeks ago. It is from the new Unitarian Universalist virtual hymnal titled Sing Out Love that we introduced earlier this month. So it will be familiar to many of you, but still pretty new to all of us. So Tony, take us away. You may be seated. And I invite our children and Spirit Circle team to come up here to these front pews on your right. Good morning. I wonder what we have in our mystery basket this morning. 3 hands, 3 things, so great. Let's see what they are. Okay, just grab one. You can do it. Yeah, hold that up high. And what is it? What are they? Plants. They're going to grow up to be plants. Seeds. Yes, they are seeds. And seeds for special kinds of flower gardens called pollinator gardens. Do you know what that means, pollinator gardens? Yeah? Gardens that have a bunch of flowers where bees and butterflies like to come, yeah, and hummingbirds, all the animals that then help other plants grow. Yeah, they're helping each other out, these plants and these animals. And caterpillars, right, yes. So today we have a story called Bud Finds Her Gift by Robin Wall Kimmerer. There once was a young child called Bud, and Bud was very good at noticing. She noticed the shapes in the clouds and the smell of cookies baking, and even where Daddy had left his keys every morning. She noticed that everyone always seemed to have something important to do, going to work and doing big homework projects and shopping for the family. Everyone had something important to do but her. So she went to talk to Nokomis. Nokomis, her grandmother, was in her study, surrounded by books and plants and tea and seeds and so many cats. Everyone is doing big, important things, Bud told her grandmother. I want to do something big and important too. They shared a cup of tea, and Nokomis nodded. Come with me tomorrow morning, and we will do something important indeed. Bud's heart soared. She couldn't wait to do the big, important thing. So at sunrise, Bud and her grandmother walked uphill to stand beside a tall tree. Raising her arms in the new light, Nokomis said, "Good morning, morning. Thank you for the gift of this day. Thank you, birds and trees and dew and flowers. Thank you for all the gifts we are given." And Bud watched. She was good at watching and noticed, and then she asked, "Will we do the important thing soon?" And Nokomis laughed. "This is the important thing, noticing the gifts all around us." "Gifts," said Bud. "I don't see any bags or boxes or ribbons." "These gifts," her grandmother said, "don't come in bags or boxes. They come from the earth. Look here." It was an early summer day, and Nokomis showed Bud a strawberry. It was the sweetest strawberry Bud had ever tasted. "Is this one of the gifts?" "You are very good at noticing, my little Bud," Nokomis replied. "Notice more. Notice with your eyes and your ears and your fingers and see what happens. Come again tomorrow." So the next morning, Bud stood by that same tall tree, noticing as hard as she could. Noticing with her eyes, she saw the colors of the sky. Noticing with her toes, she felt the dew on the grass, and noticing with her ears, she heard the beautiful bird song. And listening with her heart to that bird song, she could almost hear something like this. Everyone from the day of their birth was given a gift to share with the earth. I was given the gift of this song, so I share it with you all morning long. And Bud looked up at that bird and said, "Thank you, Robin." And then Bud noticed Robin pick up a piece of moss and carry it to a branch. And noticing with her eyes, she saw the moss growing shiny and green. Noticing with her fingers, she felt it soft like a cloth. And listening with her heart, it's as if she could hear the moss chant, "Everyone from the day of their birth was given a gift to share with the earth. Being soft and green is what I do best, so I share with the birds to make a warm nest. And Bud said, "Thank you for sharing this gift with the birds." Well, now, Bud wasn't the only one eating the strawberries. The robin was eating the strawberries. Everyone likes berries, Bud thought. And then the robin, after eating that berry, pooped on the soil. And that little pile of poop made Bud laugh. And she noticed with her eyes that it was full of strawberry seeds. The robin had just planted seeds. And this made her laugh. But when she listened with her heart, she heard something like this: everyone from the moment of birth is given a gift to share with the earth. Even bird poop is a gift for the berries, for the special delivery of seeds that it carries. She giggled and said, "Thank you, poop." The gift of laughter, right? She kept noticing how everything was connected and was doing its part. The birds and the moss and even the poop and the insects and the birds pollinating the flowers. And she found herself saying, "Thank you and thank you," but wondered, was that enough? And so it was time to talk to her grandmother again. And Nokomis asked, "Did you find gifts?" "Oh yes," Bud said. "I saw birds and moss and butterflies, and everyone loves berries. But Nokomis, what is my gift?" And her grandmother hugged her. "Don't think of the things you can't do. Notice instead what you can do. Those are your gifts." So Bud noticed Nokomis's words, and she began to notice herself. She noticed her arms and her legs and her voice, and suddenly Bud too began to sing. Everyone from the day of their birth was given a gift to share with the earth. She picked up a shovel and said, "I was given the gift of hands and knees, so I'll share them by planting trees." She noticed the gift of happiness within her as she planted trees. She continued, "I was given the gift of my words to remind us to care for the bees and the birds. I was given the gift of making art, and I share it with you so we'll all do our part." You see, Bud looked around and realized her neighborhood was planting a community garden, and she joined in, helping to plant seeds and also to make a beautiful sign reading, "Pollinator-friendly garden. All are welcome." I was given the gift of seeing, so I share it with people and watch out for all beings. And Bud went again to her grandmother and said, "Nokomis, I found my big, important thing to do. I have gifts to give too." Thank you for listening to this story. Upstairs, we'll be talking more about the gifts we have to receive and give, and our children in Spirit Circle are going to be making some art with Max today. So let's sing Our Children on Their Way to Spirit Circle with words found in your order of service.
As you go, rejoice around you. As you go, go in peace. God is with you always as you go.
Through the sharing of our joys and sorrows, we create a sacred space where we are deeply present with ourselves and one another. This is a time to briefly share the life milestones that lift your spirits in joy or hope, or the pains and losses that fill you with heartache. If you have a joy or a sorrow to share, please come forward, share your name, and speak from this microphone, or alternatively, you can raise a hand and an usher will bring you the microphone. As we begin our sharing, we light a candle of joy, knowing that a joy shared is a joy magnified. And we also light a candle of sorrow, knowing that a sorrow shared is a burden lightened. Let us open our hearts to one another. Used to hold silently in our hearts. May the light of these candles and the compassion of this community remind us that wherever we are on our journeys, we are each worthy of love, and we are each able to love. Let us return now to that deep breath of life and love that is always there to ground and guide us. Let us take a deep breath together. Take a deep breath together, relaxing into the gift of this moment. Take a deep breath together, relaxing into the gift of your body. Let us take a deep breath together as we share a moment of silence. Will you lift your hearts now and join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation, listening in these words for the language of faith that is most meaningful to you? Spirit of life and love, known by many names, known in many ways, we gather here in this place of peace, this quiet refuge from the noise and the troubles of the past week, those that are normal in our lives and those that are unexpected. We give thanks for this place of rest and peace, for this community of loved ones, of friends, new and old, who have come to share what is on our hearts, who have come to share our love for one another, for ourselves, and for the greater world. We give thanks for our friends and for those who love us. We give thanks for the great gifts of life, for help when we need it, for love enduring. We give thanks for the small gifts, for the roses still blooming outside the parish hall door, for the beauty of a cloud, for an unexpected moment of laughter. We open our hearts with compassion for those among us who are currently suffering, who are sick, who are sad, who are lonely, who are angry. And we hold them in peace. Source of our being, source of our goodness, spirit of life and love. We hold also compassion for those in the greater world around us who suffer from war or oppression or sickness, who are hungry and alone. And we pray that as we are helped, that as help is available to us when we need it, help will be available to them from us or from those who can reach them. We pray this for love's sake. Amen, and blessed be. The lyrics to our next hymn are in the order of service. It is called "There Is a Love."
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love.
Our reading this morning comes from the same author who gave us the message for all ages, Robin Wall Kimmerer. She is a mother, scientist, and a professor, the best-selling author of Braiding Sweetgrass and other books. She's a citizen of the Potawatomi Nation, whose traditional lands are in the Great Lakes region. And the Potawatomi are one of the Anishinaabe people, along with the Ojibwe and Odawa nations. This is an excerpt from her book titled The Serviceberry: Abundance and Reciprocity in the Natural World, published last year. A book that focuses on the ethic of reciprocity that lies at the heart of the gift economy. These are her words. In a traditional Anishinaabe economy, the land is the source of all goods and services, which are distributed in a kind of gift exchange. One life is given in the support of another. The focus is on supporting the good of the people, not only an individual. Receiving a gift from the land is coupled to attached responsibilities of sharing, respect, reciprocity, and gratitude. Gratitude and reciprocity are the currency of the gift economy. And they have the remarkable property of multiplying with every exchange, their energy concentrating as they pass from hand to hand, a truly renewable resource. She continues, to name the world as a gift is to feel your membership in a web of reciprocity. It makes you happy, and it makes you accountable. Conceiving of something as a gift changes your relationship to it in a profound way, even though the physical makeup of the thing has not changed. A woolly knit hat that you purchased from a store will keep you warm regardless of its origin. But a hand-knit hat from a favorite auntie, then you are in relationship with that thing in a very different way. You are responsible for it. Your gratitude has motive force in the world. You're likely to take much better care of the gift hat than the commodity hat, because the gift hat is a knit of relationships. This is the power of gift thinking. I imagine if we acknowledged that everything we consume is the gift of Mother Earth, we would take better care of what we are given. Thank you, choir. What if we treated the world as a gift, as an interdependent web of gifts? What if we responded to the world as if the currency, the greatest value of the world was gratitude and reciprocity? Think back to your own day, the last 24 hours of your life. What gifts did you receive? What gifts did you give? I think of the gift of coffee. The plant that produced this amazing bean, the water that amazingly comes out of the tap, the mug that my parents gave me. I think of the gift of a housemate doing dishes from my baking yesterday, even though they're not even the ones eating the cookies. I think of the gift of a grateful smile and the gift of a joyous baby when I volunteered to give the gift of watching my 1.5-year-old housemate for her parents. This giving and receiving of joy. Last week, in this month of talking about nourishing gratitude, we talked about grateful living. How over time we can cultivate this response to the world of noticing gifts and responding with gratitude. We heard in our message for all ages this morning that noticing is itself a gift. The gift of our physical senses, the gift of our consciousness to hear with our heart, the gifts moving through the world. Robin Wall Kimmerer writes, "To name the world as a gift is to feel your membership in the web of reciprocity. Gratitude and reciprocity are the currency of the gift economy." Elsewhere in her book, Robin Wall Kimmerer writes, "What is economics anyway?" The words ecology and economy come from the same root, the Greek oikos, meaning home or household, i.e. the systems of relationships, the goods and services that keep us alive. She describes in her book how the predominant economy that we live in, this consumer capitalist economy, is based upon an ethic of scarcity. That space between supply and demand and how much money can be made from it for an individual or an individual company. She describes how this economy that we are all embedded in is so dangerous for the earth that it takes and it takes, that it's dangerous for our human communities because it exploits our labor, embedding us in systems of power and oppression. And she describes how it is harmful for our spiritual beings because it separates us from this membership in a web of reciprocity, this interdependent web of gratitude. So she turns her attention, our attention, to the ethic of reciprocity within a gift economy. She writes, "There beats in the heart of gift economies an alternative to market economies, another way of organizing ourselves to sustain life. In a gift economy, wealth is understood as having enough to share, and the practice for dealing with abundance is to give it away. The currency in a gift economy is relationship, which is expressed as gratitude, as interdependence and the ongoing cycles of reciprocity. A gift economy nurtures the community bonds that enhance mutual well-being. The economic unit is we rather than I, as all flourishing is mutual. All flourishing is mutual. All flourishing is mutual. Let that land in your heart. That phrase itself, I find, fills me in body and spirit. The idea that we are connected through abundance, not scarcity. It's interesting, in the children's book, the young girl said to her grandmother, "Where are the gifts? I don't see any boxes." Every Sunday when we're choosing a picture, I go to certain websites and I put in gift, and what did I find coming up on the website of images? Boxes, bows, bags. And so the metaphor she uses in her book, calling it the service berry, is about a particular berry and how birds feed on it, and the network of cycle of reciprocity connected to this one plant. And so I searched bird and berry, and there we see it, the image of gift, and yet not named as gift in this larger society. So we're entering that season of boxes and bags and bows, this season of giving, this season of gifts within our larger capitalist economy, rather than the gift economy she talks about. There's a tension in this season. We all carry it with us in some ways. The importance of honoring important relationships through the giving of a gift. And yet the gifts that we so often give are part of this larger economic system built on scarcity and the resource extraction of labor and land. We know the dangers of this system, right? The dangers to the land. So if we return to what Kimmerer called gift thinking, we are offered an alternative to the scarcity ethic in consumer capitalism. She writes, enumerating gifts you've received creates that sense of abundance, the knowing you already have what you need. Recognizing enoughness is a radical act in an economy that is always urging us to consume more. She continues, eco-psychologists have shown that the practice of gratitude puts brakes on hyperconsumption. The relationship nurtured by gift thinking diminish our sense of scarcity and want. Gift thinking can diminish our sense of scarcity and want, put brakes on this overconsumption. And so, as we go into this holiday season, I extend to you the invitation from Robin Wall Kimmerer's book, which is to find places for practicing that ethic of reciprocity, little bits of gift economy, within this larger economy that we are all a part of. She recognizes this is hard, that her life where she has land and space to forage strawberries and service berries is not the world many of us have. And so as a professor, she asks her students, where do you see gift economy? And they talk about the little free libraries and buy nothing groups or everything free stores, and these different places where we practice sharing our resources, sharing our abundance without spending more money or much more money, without extracting more from the earth. And so I have a bit of an ethical, spiritual invitation as we go into this holiday season. Think about what gifts you can give that put some brakes on hyper-consumption. Think about that person you want to show your care for. What are you grateful for them about? What do you love about them, and what do they love? And can that gift not come from a big box store, but instead be something used? Or a gift of time? Isn't that one of the most precious gifts? The gift of time. Plan an adventure together. Offer to babysit. Offer to help with elder care. So many creative ways that we can give gifts without buying more and more. You don't have to do it for everyone. I know I'm like up here preaching and you're like, Reverend Rebecca, I'm already guilty. I just need to get a book to send to like my grandniece 2,000 miles away. I get that. And I know some of you make an effort to get the book locally or choose very intentionally what book it is. But even in little places, carve out some space for practicing that gift economy. And the second part of this invitation returns us to that foundational ethic, that foundational gift of noticing. Pause. Invite others to pause with you and notice those gifts all around you. Friends on the journey, let yourself be filled with wonder for this interdependent web of gifts. Let yourself participate in this interdependent web of gratitude. Let yourself respond with your own generosity so that we might be a part of this mutual flourishing. May it be so. Amen. And blessed be. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. We're going to sing hymn number 298, Wake Now My Senses, verses 1 through 3.
Wake now my
Senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in awe. We drink from wells we did not dig, and we worship in a sanctuary we did not build. As a voluntary association, our church is sustained through the gifts of our members and friends, past and present. We have so many gifts we share with one another and gifts we share with the wider world. On Thursday, on November 20th, we held our third annual Transgender Day of Remembrance Vigil. Organized by Quincy Interfaith Network, we were the hosts. We gathered with speakers on the steps and around 65 people on the common, sharing the gifts of our values, the gifts of our voice, and the gifts of our building and grounds, the gifts of your time. It is your generosity that helps sustain these gifts, that benefit us and the wider community. You can give online by going to ufpc.org and clicking on the donate button, or by placing a contribution in the offering plate. If this is your first time worshiping with us, please let the offering plate pass you by. Your presence here today is your gift to us, and we hope you will join us following the service for social hour. So may the ushers please come forward so that the morning offering to support the good works of United First Parish Church might be joyfully given, and know that it will be gratefully received. Thank you, Tony. Here at United First Parish Church, we gather in many ways. On Sundays for worship and choir and spirit circle and more, and in many ways throughout the week. You can read about our ongoing and upcoming programs in your in your announcements in the order of service. They're also emailed to the congregation. And if you'd like to get on our email list, you can fill out a connection card at the welcome visitors table in the parish hall. Just a couple to highlight today. This afternoon, as an extension of social hour, we're having that Sweetsgiving dessert auction. Carl, we're having lunch, yes? We're having a light lunch, and then we're having the auction with your ministers as the co-auctioneers. So please do give generously. I know it's kind of like, oh, we're having an auction after I preach against capitalism, but it's how we just sustain the oikos, the household of the church. Okay, hold on, let's give it a moment.
As you were giving that sermon, I was thinking of the generosity of all the people who brought in desserts, and it was actually a remarkable illustration of that gift of abundance and that gift of caring. So I think it's spot on, actually.
And then please do read your announcements closely because we are entering the season of holiday traditions at the church. So you can help with the hot chocolate table at the Quincy Christmas Parade next Sunday. And then on Saturday, December 6th, our annual holiday decoration work party. We play some Christmas music on the sound system and we decorate it. Claire is so organized. It's so much fun. I'm there every year and hope to see many of you at that work party on December 6th. And now let us rise as we are willing and able. Place your hand over your heart. Return to that deep breath of life and love. For these words of benediction, again from Robin Wall Kimmerer. This is one of her adaptations of the honorable harvest, an ethic found with her people. Know the ways of the ones who take care of you, so that you can take care of them. Introduce yourself. Be accountable as the one who comes asking for life. Ask permission before taking. Abide by the answer. Never take the first one. Never take the last one. Take only what you need. Take only what is given. Never take more than half. Leave some for others. Harvest in a way that minimizes harm. Use it respectfully. Never waste what you have taken. Share. Give thanks for what you have been given. Give a gift in reciprocity for what you have taken. Sustain the one who sustains you, and the earth will last forever. May we go in peace and go in love to be a blessing to the world. And I invite you to turn towards the center aisle so that we might offer one another a sung benediction as we extinguish the chalice.
Must know someone like him. He was tall and strong and lean, with a body like a greyhound and a mind so sharp and keen. But his heart's just like a laurel, grew twisted around itself, till almost everything he did caused pain to someone else. It's not just what you're born with, it's what you choose to bear. It's not how big your share is, but how much you can share. It's not the fights you dreamed of, but those you really fought. It's not what you've been given, it's what you do with what you've got. strong legs if you only run away? What's the use of the finest voice if you've nothing good to say? Or the use of strength and muscle if you only push and shove? And what's the use of good ears if you can't hear those you love? And it's not just what you're born with, it's what you choose to bear. It's not how big your share is, but how much you can share. And it's not the fights you dreamed of, but those you really fought. It's not what you've been given, it's what you do with what you've got. Between those who use their neighbors and those who use a cane, between those in constant power and those in constant pain, between those who run to evil and those who cannot run, tell me which ones are the good ones and which ones touch the sun. It's not just what you're born with, it's what you choose to bear. It's not how big your share is, but how much you can share. And it's not the fights you dreamed of, but those you really fought. It's not what you've been given, it's what you do with what you've got. It's not what you were born with, it's what you choose to bear. And it's not how big your share is, but how much you can share. And it's not the fights you dreamed of, but those you really fought. It's not what you've been given, it's what you do with what you've got. It's not what you've been given, it's what you do with what you've got.